Hello, everybody, and welcome to Now What? Next Steps podcast here at Malibu Pacific Church. Hey, if you haven't listened to this past Sunday's sermon yet, what we want you to do is press pause here and go listen to that right now. This is a supplemental podcast. We talk through what happened over the past week here at Malibu Pacific Church, and it's a really good time. But I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, so, just keep listening. Hey, it's me, Joel, and...
Hey, everybody. Andy here.
It's Andy.
Thanks for joining in.
All right. Andy's here, everybody. Hey, so this last week, we didn't have church, is what I heard.
Whoa.
We didn't have church?
Are you allowed to do that?
Well...
It's part of the Ten Commandments, isn't it?
It is.
I don't know, I think.
Thou shalt church?
Something. Thou shalt church. That's right. Oops. But I think you did a great job explaining why we weren't having church on our online service. I don't know. Yeah, say it one more time, maybe if we missed it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so last week we didn't meet on site, but we did meet online.
Yeah.
So we hope you...
So actually we did...
Wait, what?
We actually did have church.
Oh my God.
We actually had it.
Oh, but online doesn't count.
No.
It's in the book of Joel.
No, Joel, yeah.
Joel. Just kidding. Online for... Anyway, so, we definitely had it online, and we hope you got to watch it. We had some chat rooms that were buzzing that were so much fun, and on top of that, great sermon, and we had some of our best hits from the Easter service.
It was really good.
Music-wise. And go back and check those out. Listen to them, too, because one of our co-music directors, Noah, remixed some of those songs, too. Actually, all of them, to make them sound so beautiful. Because he was out of tune. Just kidding. He's the drummer. It
was great. It was a great service. Great online service. Yeah.
Great
but you
service.
also explained why we were doing it. We wanted to give our volunteers a break.
Yes,
and so
absolutely.
We just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
For serving every week.
Absolutely. We have about, 50 plus volunteers to run a Sunday morning here at Malibu Pacific Church. And it's okay to not meet in person from time to time. We did, however, have church, if you will. We still met and got to know each other. We had a ladies' night and a men's night last week, too.
It was great.
Which was so great.
I'm still upset that I lost. I think I got second place to Chris Laubach.
You did.
And boy, he really...
axe throwing.
Yeah, he really let me know.
Yeah. So the ladies went to a beautiful winery. The guys went axe throwing. And it's just, it was super amazing. And so we still met in a different capacity last week. But that's something that we're really leaning into here in this season at Malibu Pacific Church.
Yep.
Are these areas where we can actually hang out, not just on the property. Its building is beautiful, the view is beautiful, but hanging out and doing a little bit of life outside of Sunday morning in that 1 hour to get to know each other just a little bit better.
And I met a bunch of people I didn't know, and there's just not enough time on a Sunday morning. And I love what happens after church on our patio.
Yep.
But it's still hard.
It totally is.
It still is, but it's great.
Yes.
But just taking that time, taking a couple hours, hanging out and doing something fun together, you just get to know people, and it's much better. I also need to say the reason why we were giving everybody a break, especially our 50 volunteers, I mentioned a couple people, and I forgot to mention one person, Christy.
Yes.
Christy, I want to say thank you so much for also serving. I was throwing out a couple of names during the sermon, and I just forgot to say Christy, and she just serves all over in our hospitality and food and coffee. So hopefully you're listening to this, Christy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for not mentioning your name on Sunday, but...
Well, that's the beauty of the podcast.
That's right.
That anytime you mess up, we can just fix that right here.
Happens all the time.
See, so that's why you got to listen to the podcast. Hit that subscribe button.
So thank you, Christy.
Yes.
And thank you, everybody, for showing up. And be on the lookout for the next event, Man's Night or Women's Night. Just be looking for it.
Absolutely. So we're hoping to have those a couple times a year, anywhere between, 2 to 6 times. And on top of that, you guys can make your own. You can invite a couple friends out after church.
Imagine that.
Yeah, get to know people. We do have something coming up in July that we're pretty excited about. We're having an all-church beach trip right after the service. So you come here, it's going to be really amazing, and then we're going to head down to Zuma and have a whole beach time down there.
Be great.
See? So I love it. It's going to be so
Well, I love that series. I mean, we're starting a new series next week, and I know we're going to jump into this one, but we are doing Vacation Mode. Is going to start this week, this Sunday, make sure you're come be a part of that, and imagine living your life like you're always on vacation. And then we're going to do Church on the Lawn.
Yep. Oh, the whole month of July.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much fun stuff. I love this place. It's so good. So yeah, check out the app Malibu Plus, and you can see all the events that are coming up. All right, so let's dive into this past Sunday. It was online only. Andy, is it fun talking to a camera with no audience? Or actually, it's just usually me or a couple other people.
I'm just talking
right?
to you, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking this is something Joel needs to hear.
Exactly. Yeah. Why do you keep
Makes it
talking
easier.
about
Me.
the worst sin in the world? What's going on?
No. I think I've gotten used to it. Actually, I felt like I walked away going, wow, I've gotten comfortable with that. Thank you, COVID.
Yeah.
I was not comfortable at all when I first got here and
Uh-huh.
had to do it. How long was it? We did it for a year?
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
So I was a little rusty, but
Mhm.
COVID really gave me another skill set. I have skills now to be able to just talk to the camera and just talk to you. And
Yeah.
I felt comfortable. It was
Totally.
good.
Wait, they didn't teach you that in seminary?
They did not.
Why not?
At
You
all.
didn't skip that class?
They hadn't even thought about that. It was like, well, on a serious note, it was like only large churches that had big cameras and they had a TV ministry like Schuler and others.
Yeah.
They're the ones who, know how to speak into the camera.
Yeah.
Well, COVID forced every pastor in America
Yep.
to do something that they had not been trained. So
Totally.
it was great and enjoyed it. And I think it's much more personal, actually. I'm thinking of people behind the camera are you're sitting in your living room.
Totally.
So I'm just talking to you in your living room. And that's been my mindset
Mm-hmm.
for any communicators out there and just how to have that conversation.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, I had a lot of people asking like, "Oh, well, you're in Malibu Church, so that's why you can record." Okay, let's tell them a little secret. You know
Yeah.
what we're filming with right now, and what we filmed that whole service basically with?
Tell them, Joel.
iPhones, everybody.
What?
iPhones.
Oh.
Yeah, look, I'm just gonna bring one into the shot right now. Look, iPhone. Look at that. Boom,
iPhones.
boom, boom, boom. So if you want to learn how to do any of these kind of production things, we're looking for volunteers to do amazing things like that too.
good.
Come
We
be a
do.
part of it.
You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's super, super great. So if you were listening to this podcast, I actually just moved an iPhone into the frame, so you probably couldn't see it, but just imagine it. The service itself was about, 35, 40 minutes. So you see, church was even shorter. So that's also a bonus.
That's a win. That's a win.
That's a win, right? You got on with your day a little bit more. No, but great sermon. And I know you don't do it for that, but you're in the book of James. And you're talking about the habit of doing will make you happy.
Yeah.
So, as you were in James 1, you're talking about do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do
it.
Do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty passionate about that passage because I grew up in church. Mom and dad are pastors in a church for 45 years.
Mm-hmm.
And as a preacher kid, you notice and see everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not impressed with Christians who have a lot of information. And we preacher kids can smell religion about a mile away. That they talked a certain talk, but I knew their kids and I'd go to their house and saw their behavior at home. So to know something or act a certain way on a Sunday morning, but you're completely different at home or completely different how you treated your kids. I was not impressed growing up that you had information or hearers of the word, and then James just really set me free. Be doers of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that must be hard being Jesus' brother, right? And then
Really hard. Absolutely, I know. And can you imagine being in that home where your brother is perfect? Yeah, I don't think, was there any bitterness there?
Oh, man.
And mom's favorite was Jesus, does everything right. Yeah, he never makes a mistake.
This guy.
Yeah.
All right, so then you kept saying, do what it says, do what it says. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the actual doing part of what it says? Are you talking certain pieces of scripture? Are you talking about loving God, loving others? Are you talking about the 10 Commandments? You say do. What's a little bit more about that?
Yes, and yes
Oh,
to all those
okay.
questions.
Hey,
Yeah.
I did
Yes.
it. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to learn how to play golf right now, and I'm terrible. But I watch all these videos. You can And now that I'm watching videos on golf, for some reason on my YouTube channel, everything is a video, 10-minute video on how to do the swing, backswing, how to, hold the club and so forth. And now on Instagram and TikTok, everything is these short little video clips. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing that. No, I can do that. No, I understand what they're saying. I get it. I have the head knowledge. I have the information. But when I go to the driving range and I have a coach and I have a couple of other guys I've gotten to know, they're like, you're not doing it. And finally, he put this one guy, Steve, if you're listening to this, he had a little thing for my wrist to keep my wrist back that forced my body to make a turn. I wasn't making a full turn. And finally, after I did it the right way, I could feel it.
Oh.
And now I know when I'm not doing a swing correctly. I still don't do it very often, but I know when I'm doing it right and what to do or when I'm not doing it. But it is one thing to know it in your head and another one to actually go and do it. Another piece to the puzzle, I think, and this is in addition to Sunday's message, is that videotaping yourself doing a golf swing or having another coach saying, no, you're still not doing it. And I'm like arguing with them. No, I am. And they're like, Steve literally will take the video out and the iPhone out and videotape me for 20 seconds with a swing. He says, look. And I look at it, I'm like, you're right, I'm not doing it. So we need mentors in our lives as well. We need a small group. We need people in our lives who are holding us accountable, who love us enough to say something and say, no, you're actually not. That isn't loving. That's not patient. Yes, I am. That's why I'm not an angry person. I think you are. Look at your tone. What? What do you mean? So I think the doing makes all the difference for us. Yeah. But also makes all the difference in all of our relationships. That I'm actually not being loving. And part of the doing what's right, regardless of the cost, that's the definition of character. Yeah. Character is doing what's right, regardless of the cost. Doing is actually the oil in the engine for relationships. Doing is actually is what makes relationships work. So if I'm not doing it, it's like an engine that doesn't have oil. And what's going to happen? It's metal on metal, and it's going to eventually burn up. So when there is a broken relationship, it's because somebody is lacking character. Somebody is not doing what's right of what needs to happen. So I think it's the oil. It's the secret sauce. It's what makes things work. It's actually in the doing, because nobody is interested in saying, yeah, I know I should be loving, but I'm not. I'm a jerk to everybody. And then I'm like, well, what happened? What's going on? And so doing is the oil. Doing is the character. Doing is the actual oil that makes the engine work.
Yeah. Absolutely. So if you need somebody to videotape you, come to church and find no, just kidding.
Well, imagine that. Imagine like when you're being impatient with somebody at Ralph's and you're upset about something. You had to stand in line too long and just look at your face.
The footage.
Yeah, the footage.
Gosh,
highlight reel of your day and your interactions. Gosh. Like, I was loving all day. Yeah. Really?
Let's
take a look at this.
But if you're looking for community like that to, sharpen your life, do a little bit better too, this is a great place to do that. We're not going to find like a creeper who's going to be recording you or something, but we're gonna have some awesome people around here that would love to just be friends, and also they want to be sharpened too. That's the thing, is that iron sharpens iron, and so we want that to happen here at Malibu Pacific Church. And you're mentioning small groups.
Yeah.
Is that a good place to start?
Incredible place to start. So be looking for those in August. There's going to be signups, and we're launching them all in September. Wow. Yeah, the example that James uses is the mirror. Yeah. I mean, as if you go and look at the mirror in the morning, what do? You just look at it and say, wow, I look horrible. This is terrible. I just got out of bed and look at that and walk away and go and do nothing about it. It's like looking at a mirror and doing nothing. I can't go throughout the day and say, hey, you look terrible today. I said, well, I looked at the mirror this morning. nobody cares.
Yeah.
So that was James' illustration, and same thing is true for us. Nobody cares. Why you were, a jerk all day and you weren't loving. Yeah, but I went to church on Sunday.
Yeah, there's like a pretty famous meme right now that is going around that's like, I love all the people who go to church on Sunday and then go to lunch afterwards.
Oh.
And I was like, what do you mean lunch afterwards? And then it showed them at like a, Chili's or something like that, just yelling at the waiter and waitress. And they're like, and at the bottom the caption is, oh yeah, Sunday church crowd, love those people.
Yeah, I love those people.
Yeah.
I've heard it once said, I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, the number one reason why people become a Christian is because of Christians. They met one. The number one reason why people don't become a Christian is because they met a Christian.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
yep,
it's all in our doing.
Yeah.
I think the evangelical church, we put such an emphasis on attendance versus living it.
Oh.
And I'm super excited about what's happening here at Malibu Pacific Church because we're developing.
No,
our attendance don't go to church.
Down, but man, no, actually, it's not. That's something that's crazy. We could celebrate that later.
We are growing here, which is a lot of fun. But I love the discipleship pathway that we're creating here to help people actually apply or do what it is that we're learning. Let's actually walk the talk.
Incredible. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So with that said, if you have any questions for the podcast about this past Sunday, anything that's coming up in the church and stuff like that, or you want to be a part of one of the production teams, work inside a children's ministry or youth ministry, we'll be praying for you. Let us know. We want you to find that next step here. We want you to get connected inside of this larger body. And on top of that, if there's just a question you had about a past sermon, or you want us to answer that here on the podcast, that's what this is for. So please email me, joel@malibupacific.church, joel@malibupacific.church, Joel, Joel, at malibupacific.church, and we would love to get those questions from you to answer those. So with that said, this was our final week of Life's a Ditch. I'm glad you didn't say the other word while you're up there. There was a couple times
it got close.
It got very close. Yeah, we had almost cutting off the microphone. It was real bad.
So. But we did it.
We
got away with it.
We did it. So
we made it.
We just have to find another funny topic like that, right? Okay. So
looking forward to vacation mode.
Yeah,
don't
coming
miss
up
it.
all of June, vacation mode. 4-week sermon series, and there's some really cool fun things that are going to be happening in there, but also it's just the knowledge I think is going to be great. It's going to help us relax. It's going to help us find that vacation mode that we're going on, or hopefully you get a vacation if you're listening to this, that you can just live life the best way you possibly can.
That's what's going to happen. We're going to talk about the Sabbath.
Yes.
What's a vacation? You're getting away. You're breaking away. You're taking the time to be with those whom you love. And actually, God mandated, it's the fourth of the 10 Commandments, and there's more description and information, more words used to describe the Sabbath than any other 10 Commandments. And God mandates it. So
even more than murdering someone?
Don't murder. I think that's pretty clear. Yeah, don't commit adultery. Okay, got it. Don't lie.
But I'm going to tell you about a Sabbath, because if you're not going to do it, you're just hurting
yourself. Human beings, we don't know how to do it.
Nope.
We do not know how to. So come and learn about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
vacation mode, Sabbath.
Absolutely. And we're cheering you on as well to live the best life you possibly can.
That's good.
The way that God created it to be. So thanks so much for being a part of Now What Next Steps podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or hand gestures, let us know, and we'd love to answer them. With that, we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Take care.